This is a Hot Pie Media original.
Well, we have a governor's race in the state of Texas, sort of. Beto O'Rourke is in. Thought he was going to make that announcement on the show. That's what I was told. He was going to announce that he's running for governor on the show. So he's in. Wow, what a shocker. Couldn't see this coming, right? Yep, Beto O'Rourke is... What's amazing is he's running against a guy who's campaigning for two jobs at once, and they both kind of work the same. So while Greg Abbott wants to be MAGA Hat 2.0, he's doing the same thing at the same time, running to keep his job as governor. You would think it's an opportunity. I don't know. Wooderson, you're on the clock.
I'm running for governor, and I want to tell you why. This past February, when the electricity grid failed, and millions of our fellow Texans were without power, which meant that the lights wouldn't turn on, the heat wouldn't run, and pretty soon their pipes froze and the water stopped flowing, they were abandoned by those who were elected to serve and look out for them. It's a symptom of a much larger problem that we have in Texas right now. Those in positions of public trust have stopped listening to, serving and paying attention to and trusting the people of Texas. And so they're not focused on the things that we really want them to do, like making sure that we have a functioning electricity grid, or that we're creating the best jobs in America right here in Texas, or that we have world-class schools, or that we make progress on the things that most of us actually agree on, like expanding Medicaid or legalizing marijuana.
Hey.
Instead, they're focusing on the kind of extremist policies around abortion or permitless carry, or even in our schools, that really only divide us and keep us apart and stop us from working together on the truly big things that we want to achieve for one another. It's a really small vision for such a big state, but it doesn't have to be that way. And I know that together we can get back to being big again, because I saw that in February when the electricity grid failed and those in power failed all of us. It was the people of Texas who were willing to put their differences behind them and get to work doing the job at hand, which meant helping our fellow Texans get through that crisis. We did this out of a sense of duty and responsibility to one another. Now imagine if the governor of Texas felt that same way. Well, there's something that you and I can do about that. I want you to be part of this campaign. And whether that begins today with a campaign contribution, or signing up for a volunteer shift, or just committing yourself to talking with your friends and family about how important this election is, I want you on the team.
Not surprisingly, I'm not on a team, man. Stop. He's in. Blah, blah, blah. Wooderson, what are you going to do? What do you do? Wooderson gets in, and that pitch right there by Beto goes nowhere fast. I mean, of course he has to start there. I mean, I think it's pretty cool. I mean, it's probably, you win. I'm sure they all know this. How do you win? John McClellan is the co-founder and creator of ATX Hot Sauce in all 50 states, now in several retail outlets as well. So we're going to turn it over to the social media rock chef superstar, and we're going to walk through a few sauces and why you should buy. We've done beet heat, so we're second in line now for the tasting. Don't forget, everyone, go to atxhotsauce.com. So here we go.
All right, so this one is our smoked habanero 5-pepper. We smoke habaneros with ancho, pasilla.
Is that going to hurt?
This one? No, This one's actually really, really good.
Okay.
This is like your traditional tapatilla, but without the vinegar in it, right? And because of that fermentation process that we've talked about all the time. This one is great on sandwiches, pizzas, things like that. Great on hot wings. I think you're going to really like this one too, especially the smoky flavor with the adobe chipotle and the smoked habaneros. We actually smoked the habaneros before we...
Does that go with the cab?
This would not go with the cab. This would go with the great Chenin Blanc, though.
I teed you up with that one.
Yeah, yeah.
That is good.
That's good. Good. It's just classic take. Well, it's a new take on a classic item. So it's called smoked habanero 5-pepper.
All right, don't forget
One of my favorites.
Don't forget atxhotsauce.com. You get people to vote against someone. If he wants to win, I The grid thing is not a bad idea because it was a disaster. It was a disaster a long time in the making. There wasn't. I mean, we can all go through the history of how that scam, that you're going to get a better deal by sort of privatizing electricity, but not really privatizing it because it's concentrated to the few places. I mean, that wasn't all Greg Abbott's fault. It happened on his watch. But I think you got a better chance turning him to Trump. I think your ideal, you win by turning everyone into Trump. You win by being not Trump. I mean, I don't know if that's possible right now. Maybe it is. But that's what works. That's the only way you win is not Trump. That and the marijuana thing. It was sixth of the issues. But it was smart to mention it. It's smart to mention it a lot. I really think that and I don't think marijuana alone, legalizing, which won't happen. It won't happen, but he can talk about it. Legalizing alone won't get you elected. I think what gets you elected is not Trump. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what those focus groups are like. I don't know, but I'm thinking if old Joe can get elected by being not Trump, maybe your best chance is not Trump. His handlers seem to say, one, probably calm down a little bit. And number two, do what McConaughey is saying, and that's be aggressively centrist. And I think he's probably going to try that. And it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see if his pitch, if it works. I just think in the end, the reality of how people operate is voting against someone. He needs one things that the sort of nationalists that become Republicans have turned into nationalists, right? Big government nationalists. But one of the things that they do and has worked for them is this fear mongering. It's always against something. It's always somebody's coming for you. It's this scare tactic that works pretty well. It's the thing that got Joe Biden elected, and that is not Trump. Trump's a doofus, and he's dangerous, not him. I think this guy, Beto, his best chance is not Trump.
From the Hot Pie Media Studios in Austin, Texas, it's the Jeff Ward Show. Listen at jeffwardshow.com.